It's no surprise that Donald Trump hates the media. The so-called liberal media is always attacking him and quoting him out of context. How dare you guys? That's awful. How dare we treat the Donald Trump like that? Well, what we never hear of is how Donald Trump is actually treating the media back. Now, he is often treating the media with increasingly strict rules in order just to get access to him. Now, this comes from NBC reporter Katy Tur, and she said on Twitter on Tuesday that Trump is now requiring, get this, escorts for members of the press pool who leave their designated media area to use their restroom. So if you have to piss, you have to get Trump's approval and get an escort. Wow. Escorts to the bathroom. Are they in kindergarten now? Do you have to raise your hand first? You have to, Mr. Trump, I have to pee. Can you get my chaperone? That's ridiculous. Now, Tur also reported that members of the media were told not to leave the area when Trump is present, noting, and this is very important, that Trump's Secret Service detail is policing this. They're enforcing this policy. Now, you also know what they're calling the special area for the media? They call it the pen. They literally have the media penned in. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And on top of this, as I had mentioned, we've got Secret Service agents. By the way, they're funded by the taxpayer, you and me, that are policing this. They're enforcing the suppression of the media. What the fuck? I don't think you're allowed to do that. I thought we had freedom of the press. I mean, at least we should have freedom of the press. Seems to be a violation of that ideal. Hell, I mean, it's gotten so ridiculous that they can't even piss on their own anymore. Ridiculous. Now this is troubling. Very, very troubling. How the fuck does he get away with this? Well, how? Well, it's because reporters, pressured by management and their executives, they're pressured to have to go through all this just in order to get access to the rating bonanza that is covering Donald Trump on the campaign. It's all about the access, because that access equals ratings, and ratings equals money. That's what this is about. Now, putting that aside, could you imagine with Trump treating the press the way that he is now? And I'm not saying that in all instances they don't deserve scrutiny. Oh, hell, I scrutinize the press all the time, right? But could you imagine the press under a President Trump? Given how much he hates the media and wants to control the media, how he wants to control the narrative. Now, I know the media has its problems, right? Corporate media, they're corporate owned, right? They do bullshit stories for clickbait. That's a huge problem. They do propaganda for the government. Remember, they do this propaganda in order to get people to line up behind bullshit wars in the Middle East. But this, imagine a media under President Trump. It would go from, being partly propaganda to full propaganda. And only pro-Trump propaganda. Imagine anybody speaking out against Trump. He's already kicked reporters out. Jorge Ramos, for asking tough questions. Go back to Univision, he says. He's got no problem kicking people out who are members of the media. Now imagine if he's president. Disaster. It'd be pro-Trump all the time. So this is essentially the Trump campaign saying that you have no freedom of the press unless you follow my specific rules. You stay in your pen until I tell you to come out. You are my lapdog now. And you come out of your pen when I tell you to. And if you're not good, if you're not a good boy or girl, and do exactly what I want you to do, and cover me in the way you exactly want to cover me, or the way I want you to cover me, in the exact way, well, then you lose your access. And if you lose access for your company, your executive is going to lose ad revenue. And then what's going to happen to that reporter? They're going to lose their job. There's a financial incentive to giving softballs. There's a financial incentive to being a lapdog. That is not the way our media should be. And yes, to some extent, our media is like that right now. But with Trump's rules, he just takes it to the extreme, like a lot of what Trump does. And here's the thing. I want to end with this characteristic, this defining characteristic of fascism. One of the defining characteristics of fascism is a controlled media. Sometimes media is directly controlled by the government, but in other cases, the media is indirectly controlled by government regulation or sympathetic media spokespeople and executives. Now, I'm not saying that we're there yet, but what I am saying is that when it comes to sympathetic media executives, well, nothing can elicit more sympathy than someone paying you.